evening, everyone. I am on. Just gonna be over here. I'm just gonna put these over here. Good evening, everyone. I'm here. Oh, feels like they're not even. Sorry about that. I was doing my eyebrows and they're not. Anyways, you don't want to look at my eyebrows. You didn't come here for my eyebrows. Okay. Hi, this is Trisha. I am a medicine woman, a Native American psychic, and a spiritual mentor. And I've been doing this for 20 plus years, ever since I was 19. And oh, they're showing a lot of errors here. So yeah, I'm here early for a change. Early. So yeah. So I'm also the creator and founder of Deeply Intuitive, Unleash Your Gifts, Attract Abundance, Confidence, and Guides. This a long time. And this is a really cool subject tonight. Okay. As I was led to this topic, I don't really talk about this, but anyways, before I move on, be sure to sign up. Be sure to go to my website, which is right here, trishacondo.com. Sign up for my free top 10 checklist to see what gifts you have. Make sure that you go there and sign up. Okay, trishacondo.com. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram.com/trishacondo. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Look for Trisha Condo, and hit the notification bell to know when I'm uploading. Okay. Also follow me on TikTok and Clubhouse. Clubhouse is where I've been hanging out this week, and I've been learning a lot and really connecting a lot with people who are like me. So with that being said, make sure you also go to my intuitive guide page. Make sure that you like my page. Make sure that you check out all of the the free trainings on my page. You'll get a lot of insight and guidance there. And without further ado, let's start. So that was a mouthful. um, so I really want you to make sure that you like. If you're on my personal profile, make sure that you like it. If you're my intuitive guide page, like it, love it, share it out with your friends, tag your friends also. It is the month of love, which is Gesaloop. Really? It is. And a lot of us have a hard time dealing with that. I know, as I'm just going to go through the comments. Thank you so much for showing up. I am early this time. So good evening, Alona. Hi, Diane. She's a former student of mine. Hi, Barb. Hi, Hope. Hello, Kathy. Helen. Yeah. Hello, Kim. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Krish. I love your name, Krish. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Maxine. And yes, so Krish is almost like Trish. That would have been a cool name to have. Krish Kondo. That would have been really cool. Anyways, so let's talk about this topic. So this topic is really near and dear to my heart because hey, Latasha, that's her cool name too. So this is a really near and dear, how do you say it, topic. Highly sensitive people and their gifts and fear of touching those gifts, because I speak from experience, because I am a highly sensitive person. I was told that when I was a kid. I didn't go to kindergarten, by the way. I refused to go. My mother told me later on in life I didn't want to go because there was too many people in there. And rightly so, because I didn't want to be inundated with so much energy. I just couldn't handle it. And so, with that being said, I remember later on, I remember when I was in class, I would have a hard time focusing because I was inundated with so much energy in the room that it overwhelmed me. Hi, Gainer. That's a really uh, cool name as well. So, so we want to really discuss highly sensitive people because I am one. I'm sure you identify as a highly sensitive person. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Hi, Jasmine. And so I remember being really sensitive. I remember in class, there was so much energy in the room, I couldn't stand it. Oh, I know, I cut my finger. One of my recipes, I was supposed to slice the avocado, and end up slicing my finger. Anyways, get back to what I was saying. So yeah, I was very sensitive as a kid. I remember when I went home, I was completely exhausted and I ran into the woods. That's all I could do. Being in nature was like my go-to. And some of you could be, being around more people. For me, it was like, no, I needed to be in the woods. And I was in the woods until nighttime. That's how I grew up. And I remember playing with my cousins. I remember I was in the trees a lot. I was always near water. I wanted to hear the wind. I wanted to, and I think I just had a t-shirt back then. I was extremely hyper. And how did I know I was highly sensitive? Because my teachers told me. They didn't have to tell me. I remember them telling my mother, and I was just standing there. I felt like I was super ashamed. I was very ashamed of it's the tone of the way they said hypersensitive. It was just like there was something wrong with me. Like I was terribly like I felt like a toy that had a bad um I don't know what's the word. Like I was a bad fit to this world. It was just so um I felt like I had a huge disability. That's how I felt. Each time I would say I was sensitive, I felt like there was something wrong with me. And yeah, and I remember I could think deeply. I had to be in a really closed room. After school, my mother would have to tutor me because everything was just too much. It was just too much for me, and I couldn't grasp the basic concepts, especially math. I sucked at math, and I had to learn it. I think my dad taught me uh, algebra and trigonometry and all that. And it had to be repeated to me a lot. Um, Not that I wasn't stupid. I'm seriously not stupid. It's just, it was too much in the classroom. And I remember I was thinking deeply. I was feeling things deeply in the classroom. And I'm sure I felt everything deeply. I was touched by everything deeply. Way people were reacting to me, like the teachers, my friends, my cousins in the room. I felt everything. And I know you're here because you resonate as a highly sensitive person. The other thing I want to share with you is very afraid of basements and darkness. I don't know why. I was very afraid of basements and darkness. And I felt like I had a past life. Like I felt I was thrown in there and left to pass away. I remember that. And I just could not stay in a basement. There's no flipping way that you would have I just got really, really anxious when I was, and to this day, I'm not as bad, but back then I was scared. I can't say, I can't swear, but I was scared. I was terrified. I remember going down the stairs and all the lights had to be on. And I would run down the stairs and then go back up. And my heart was just pounding. It was just pounding and I was almost crying. I just did not like being in a basement. For me, it felt like a place for punishment. And I felt like in a past life, I was punished and left there. That's how I felt. And and I had a hard time shrugging that off. It took me many years. And for me, as a highly sensitive person, I think and I feel all the injustice that's going on in the world. You know, I remember I was walking by the TV the other day, and the news was on because I know Troy watches the news. I don't. And I walked by, had my robe on. I had, my, I don't walk around with socks on, so I had my robe on and had nothing underneath. You don't want to know that, but anyways. And so when I saw the news, it was just crushing. I didn't like watching it. You know, I could feel the greed, I could feel the worry. You know, I worry about the planet, about doing the right thing with my life. Oh yeah, I'm just like you. I'm just like all of you. I could feel the anger, the violence on TV, even when I go outside. It was like too much noise in the morning. That's why I don't watch TV in the morning. I don't watch the news. It's just too much for my heart, my sensitive heart. And for me, I also feel love. It's the other way. It's like a, I also feel love and joy 1,000% more intensely than anybody else on this planet. I'm sure of it. Um, I really love things that are beautiful. I'm very picky. I was raised by a Scorpio mom. I love everything that's beautiful. I'm very picky about what I choose in my life. I have I always wanted a Honda Accord. I got it. I can't be in something less than beautiful for me. I love music. I love dance music. I love all kinds of music. I love 40s music. Not many people do. I love new age music. I love, what else do I love? I love people that can sing without music. I love soulful music. I love art. I studied art when I was in university. I love all kinds of art. And so, most of all, just being in nature really helps me. When I go out in the woods, like I was when I was a kid, I really love it. It really moves me, like the trees, the wind, the sun, the snow, the ground. It really moves me very deeply. And I've always been like that. So, those also memories when I was a kid and today, those memories, those images, those dreams. I remember I had a recurring dream when I was a kid. And I also had a dream recently, and it persisted for about 2 years. And I was wondering what was going on. It's almost like the dreams were asking something of me. And I remember this, it's going on more than 3 years. And it was always me being outside. And it's always something changing. And always I dreamt of being inside a house. And the rooms would always change also too. And it was almost like asking me to change something inside me. And so until I really, until I sense there's some, also when I sense voices, like others like mine, people who are just like me, that need to be heard, that need to be heard. And those are really, they really touch me a lot. And so you'll need to know more about me, right? Like I said, I am a medicine woman. I am a Native American guide. I'm a spiritual mentor. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. So I've been a teacher. I did that. I was an elementary and middle school teacher in my past. And more than anything else, I'm a highly sensitive person. I've always been that way. And I think I'm going to continue being that way for the rest of my life. And so I spent most of my life thinking how I was was a problem for people. Imagine that. I went into teaching because I didn't know um, anything else to do. I was very good at facilitating, instructing people. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. And I still do it, teaching in a different way. So I knew something was up when my family looked at me a little bit strangely when I was a kid. It didn't dawn on me until I was maybe 10 or 11 that something was different about me. Having that moment really validated how I felt really alone and misperceived and misunderstood. And so I remember people really seeing that as a flaw as opposed to a strength. And so a lot of people who are, you don't see this, but what is going on? Oh, oh God. Oh, I was wondering what? Why are there so many? Sorry, guys. I'm just looking up and there's like, why is there so many spiders? I'm so sorry. What is going on? There's like, I was like, why are they coming on my? So sorry, guys. There's a whole bunch of spiders right above me. There's like 20 of them, and they're all coming down here. Anyways, that is so weird. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at that. There's like 20 little spiders, and they're all falling down here. I'm so sorry, guys. It's just like, why are these spiders landing on me? It's because, well, that doesn't look good. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. Sorry about that, guys. Squirrel. Because there was just like spiders coming down, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyways, so hypersensitive sensitivity is not a disorder. Yeah, you saw one? Yeah, there's like 20 of them over there. I'm gonna have to get that checked. 1.4 billion people are hypersensitive. Did you know that? Did you know that 1.4 billion people are hypersensitive on this planet? Hypersensitivity is not a disorder. A lot of people think it's a disorder and it's not. There's no cure for this, there's nothing wrong with you. And it's you can see it's both present in men and women. Both men and women have it. Sorry, there's a lot of little spiders jumping down here. There's like three of them flying. Okay, sorry about that. And there's no really solid research on this subject, but I just wanted to let you know. And I always knew, I'm just getting back to me. I always knew I just don't want them to land on my hair. Because one of them bit me a while ago and my hand was swelling up. Anyways, let me go back to this. I always knew there was something different. Sorry if I'm doing this because I don't want any talking about basements. Oh my God, I was looking up. I'm like, what's going on? I always knew there was something different about me, but I didn't know what it was. And I was like, oh, I always felt like it was out of place, And my mom knew about my sensitivity. If I'm scratching them, it's because I don't want them to land on my hair. My mom knew about my sensitivity. Thank you. Thank you. My dad knew, but he would always say, you got to toughen up. I remember my dad saying that, get tough. And I did. But it wasn't for me. Anyways, I'm going to have to deal with this after. So I was really, I was forced into a lot of toxic situations for my sensitive spirit. I was forced, and I didn't really like it. And it really, sorry, I'm just like, I just don't want them to land on my face. Okay. So this talking about this fear, right? So this fear really stems from unsupportive people. When you have an atmosphere of people who do not support you, when they people don't support you because they think this trait, being hypersensitive is a disorder or a sickness or a disease, then I really don't want them landing on my face. So I just seen a couple of them. I'm saying, like, anyways, I'm gonna keep on with this. It's very dramatic here. So yeah, there's a lot of fear with that. And I do have a fear of spiders. I don't know if you've read that before, but I do have a fear of spiders. I don't like I don't like spiders on me or anywhere's around me. So with that being said, we're talking about fear, right? Fear, 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 fear. Fear can do a lot of things to you. And it can do many things to you, especially when, especially if you have this fear of touching those gifts that you have because you're hypersensitive, that you're told that you're deeply intuitive, that you sense more, you feel more, you really are inundated with so much energy around you. And you're so scared of touching these gifts because you're wondering if it's going to open some other, you know, um, some other. Feels like there's. Oh, sorry, guys. Just. Oh, this is probably going to be one of the most funniest videos I've ever made. I feel like they're crawling on my back. Yeah, it can really make you afraid to touch those gifts, especially if you've come from a very unsupportive environment, an atmosphere where you're told that it's not good to show, to be trying to stay on topic here, to be very, you know, feely person, to cry, to be isolated, along the lines of those things. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on topic here, but there's a bunch of spiders. You'd be freaking out if you saw this. I'll show you towards the end, and I'll show you. There's some. I'm gonna have to get that fixed. Okay. Whew. Okay, talking about fears, that's one of mine. So the solution here, right? Keeping your mouth shut. Um, there's other things. A lot of fear comes, right? And do I have an umbrella? No, I don't have an umbrella. Um, so healing that fear, healing that insecurity, sharing with others that are like-minded, that have the same kind of sensitivity as you, really makes, yeah, I feel itchy, really makes it more of a supportive environment if you're surrounded by the same people as you, right? And so, with that being said, healing that fear, healing that insecurity, healing that shame of, if you ever experienced this when you were a kid, you weren't surrounded by people who didn't really, how do you say it, foster that kind of trait. And so, right, if I was told to stay quiet, that, right. So, you know, being scared all the time, being scared, being creative. If you were more of the creative type and you wanted to do things differently, that was probably seen as very troublesome. So if you were more, if you got in trouble for not following the rules or not, doing. Oh, Jesus. I just seen one land. Just, why are they all coming towards me? I just see one land. They're tiny. Anyways. One of them bit me a while ago, and I was just like, why are there so... Anyways. See, they're all... One is coming towards me. Okay. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, he bit me right here. You see it? I'm not putting my middle finger up at you. He bit me right here. He's coming towards me. Shoot. Okay. That being said, when you are afraid to touch your gifts, it's because someone has taught you that it's dangerous to really be yourself. And that when you're not around the same supportive environment, then it's hard or even scary to touch those gifts that you completely shut down. And what happens is you're no longer welcome to show that sensitivity. More or less, you got to shut up and grow up. I heard that one time, you better grow up, Trisha. And that was the most, I was very young when somebody told me that. And it was told, it was told by, someone told me, and they were the same age as me, told me, oh, there was one thing. I remember I used to watch cartoons. I was very young. I was 8 or 9 years old, and I had another cousin tell me that watching cartoons was childish. And that it was a waste of time. And I remember I used to draw a lot, and I used to doodle a lot, and they told me that was a waste of time too, and that I could never amount to anything if I had my head in the clouds. I'm sure you've heard that. If you had your head in the clouds, you're always dreaming, you know, doing art or anything that wasn't logical or intellectual was deemed very wrong. So what happens when you grow up and get older, you have to conform because you feel like if you don't conform, you'll be more isolated, right? So I did the teaching thing. I conformed, but I did it in a good way because I wanted to become a teacher. But it kind of like, oh, they're all coming down. Can you feel it? Okay. It's the only thing I'm afraid of is spiders in the basement. I'm gonna have to cut this short because they're all coming down and it's kind of freaking me out. I feel like they're in my hair. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut this short, but you know what I mean. When you are told that being sensitive is more like a disability, you're probably in the wrong environment. And if you're an adult right now and you still, oh, and you still are in that kind of situation, that means you're still either conforming and shutting down and going with the masses. That's not really, really, really good for you. It's very toxic for a very hypersensitive person. It's toxic. What happens is slowly, you start teaching yourself to hate yourself because everybody else is going, oh, there's a lot of notifications, and everybody's saying, do this, don't show those feelings. It's not right. Don't do that. Don't shake the boat. Don't rock the boat. So you probably were told that, and you're probably a person that takes care of everybody. I know. I used to do it. I don't do it anymore. I'm not interested in that. But anyways, so if you really resonate with this, I'm There's so many coming down. I'm going to write this down before. Woo. So it probably instilled a lot of fear into you. Fear of really wanting to branch out into your gifts. I'm going to keep talking. And fear of being judged. That's another one. Fear of being judged. Fear of telling you that this is nuts, that this is crazy, what you're doing is totally cuckoo, that you're wasting your time. I've heard that. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. Why don't you go back to drawing? It's the safer thing. I almost wanted to put my middle finger up at that person, and I should have. When people tell you to do the safe thing, when you have a fear of really, oh God, fear of really touching those gifts, that is more or less you're being sucked into their energy. It's more or less you're getting sucked into their energy. And it's time to strengthen yourself. It's time to take a lot of what you call, I'm sure you've been called sensitive. I'm sure you've been called, a crybaby. I'm sure you've been called everything under the sun. So, and I'm sure you felt like you weren't supposed to be alive and all that. And that's really not cool to feel that way. You shouldn't feel that way. And if you feel like that right now, that you're not in a very supportive environment, I can definitely help you. Hopefully the spiders are not around me. um so yeah. So definitely, guys, you're not here to give me interpretations for the spiders. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to do that. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna go because I gotta get rid of this problem. I love spiders, but not when they're infested in my office. Okay. All right. So if this resonates with you, make sure that you schedule a free breakthrough call. Okay, there is the link. I don't know why it's not working, but I'll put it in later on. And I do have a mastermind. It is 3 months, and I do have it is a small, intimate mastermind. If you would like to join us, you'll feel really welcome. you won't feel afraid to touch your gifts. I'm losing my voice. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. And so you won't feel like ostracized or feel like you're out of touch or you're a problem. I don't treat you that way. I would never treat somebody like that. And I do a little bit of kick. I really kick your butt and say, get out of that old story. So I help you and I help heal you. The old traumas, I help heal you. So if you're looking for that and you're like, yeah, I really need this, make sure that you schedule a breakthrough call. Oh, no wonder it doesn't work. Oh my God. Just delete that comment. I will come back and put the link underneath. All right, everyone, have a good night and apnumultus.